think we're getting close to the interview. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there? We got some Super Castlevania 4. Not just any Super Castlevania 4, we got Super Castlevania 4 low percent. Kitchen's giving the thumbs up. He's about ready to rock. Low percent is a very fun category with this game. It'll test your patience, and it's very, very rewarding. One of the most powerful weapons in this game. Hey everybody, I'm not sure if you were able to time without having some technical difficulties, but like we are live and ready to rock. This is Castlevania 4 low percent. For the fans out there for Castlevania 4, this game is pretty awesome. It's such a tight game. There's so many things that can go wrong, so many things that can go right. Like entrance can be playing it in the most difficult fashion possible, which is no inventory completion. So he's not allowed to pick up any whip upgrades, he's not allowed to pick up any sub-weapons. But he's allowed to pick up meats, all the lily potions, and rosaries. He's going to use them. Good effect. Fingers crossed. We're just waiting on Kenshin to rock and roll. There he goes. He's giving us peace signs, thumbs up. This run can be very, very difficult. I would expect to see a death or two along the way. I run this category myself, and I'd say my deathless runs are about 5%. It's very, very difficult to complete a speed run of low percent deathless. And when I say deathless, I mean unintentional deaths, because we may see some intentional deaths just to heal up and get going. Shoutouts to chat. See some friendly faces there. Yeah, so Kenshin is just going to beast mode this entire game. Leather whip only. Yeah, Kenshin should be starting any second now. And a little bit about Kenshintrek. Kenshintrek lives in Ecuador, in the city of Quito. And he's been a member of the Castlevania speedrunning community for quite some time. He runs a few different games. He runs this game. He's going to be running Dracula X here right afterwards. I know he's done some Castlevania 3 low percent runs. Just a very all-around good player. and more than just good, consistent. Kenshin is a keyboard warrior, so he's playing on emulator and using a keyboard on his computer. So normally when you're playing Super Castlevania 4, you're just gladly whipping candles left and right. But you got to be careful in low percent, because the game starts you off at the beginning of every stage with 5 hearts. And if you have 4 or more hearts, the game is going to drop a whip upgrade out of a small heart candle. So not only are you trying to whip and kill all these enemies, you are trying to avoid whipping a small heart candle while you're standing on top of it. And those are probably the most demoralizing ends to run. As in terms of a speed run, if you do pick up something, it will invalidate the run. For marathon and race rules, Kenshin's going to be playing that if he does pick up something, he's just going to take a death and then move on from there. Yeah, looking pretty good on stage 1. Nice and healthy. Took an extra boost there, but there's a big meet coming up, so Kenshin's essentially at full health again. Yeah, so the bone pillar coming up here, you could try and whip it down, but it's actually faster just to take the hit. A little bit of knockback and power on through. The game knowledge is incredibly important. Kenshin's showing off there, picking up a lot of money bags. Now, pardon me. The money bags, it's an interesting strat that Kenshin does. He is anticipating that he might end up having to use a few deaths to refill his health later, and he doesn't want to risk a game over. So by hitting a few money bags along the way, he's going to hit his 1-up sooner, and you gain your 1-ups at 20,000 and 70,000 points. Alright, plenty of health, full health going into Rodane. Rodane's not too tough of a boss, but it's still in his horse phase. You just kind of have to tank the hits and take it down. Now, for the second phase, you're really hoping not to see too many jumps. That last jump. I thought Kenshin had him. But as you can see, like, once the AI for the boss decides he jumps, he just rocket boots up. Only takes like 4 or 5 frames for him to be completely out of range of your whip. Alright, stage 2's got some fun. Purple hands to get you these bush monsters you can barely see. And everyone's favorite, the birds. Yeah, so the general health route that you're taking is 5 points of damage before the meat that you get just before Medusa, and that's it. You want to enter Medusa with full health. It's one of the only bosses in this category which will just kill you if she wants to. Like, she can give you RNG patterns where you just die from Medusa. Apart from like some very, very clutch and still lucky maneuvers. Yeah. Alright, I think I might have went a little bit I think I might have went a little bit robot-y on you guys, but I think we're back. Just in time to see if Kenshin can make it through. Yeah, Kenshin's fine. As I was just cursing my internet connection by saying how scary of a boss Medusa can be. Kenshin made it through with quite a good amount of health, so you should be able to take all the boosts here. So we're taking on these flying Ninja Turtles and just trying to let the water push us forward as much as we can. It's probably going to shift direction right after this first hit. And then once that happens, you just want to keep jumping out of it. Now we're coming up on probably the biggest gatekeeper apart from Medusa in the early game for low percent. Every stage is a lot more dangerous, but this stage, we start to see things like intentional deaths in order to have enough health to continue taking boosts. Yeah, Kenshin's not messing around with these guys. There are ways that you can boost through them, but it makes the second half of this checkpoint very, very risky. Health and money always spawn in the same spot. For the most part, yes. Every candle is the same every time, and there are no random enemy drops. There are certain items that do drop out of certain enemies, but it's the same item that drops out of the same enemy every time. Like money bags on certain skeletons in stage 9. There's a mudman on that screen that'll drop a big heart. They're always the same thing. Except for small heart candles, which are slightly dynamic based on how many hearts you have, and if you have sub-weapons. Yeah, no sub-weapons. It's no inventory completion, so no whips and no sub-weapons. Everything else is allowed to be picked up. Now, I will point out that that is different from the way that other Castlevania games do low percent, because I know Castlevania 1 low percent, you're not allowed to pick up anything. I think hearts are technically okay, but like no sub-weapons, no whips, no potions, no meats either. And the no meat thing is really bad. So that was actually an intentional death by Kenshin. It's a pretty quick death. You only lose about 6 seconds for it, and you get a full health bar ready to go for the rest of the stage. Nice eyeball boost. A lot of these boosts are even more important in low percent because killing that bone serpent takes 9 whips. So you really don't want to have to deal with that guy if you can avoid it. Yeah, Kenshin's got the health. He doesn't care about taking the eyeball boost. Now, this guy could be tricky. Those enemies just sometimes do and sometimes don't have a hitbox, and it's impossible to tell when that's the case. Yeah, if that's the first time you've seen it, there is a thing called the ring glitch in this game that Kenshin used on the vertical waterfall section a couple screens ago to skip a pretty large chunk. Got it. So Kenshin is able to body 2 hits here and still stay alive. Pretty good for the boss. And overall, really good pace. Can he get the sub 10 for stage 3? This boss is so laggy. But it's nice to see the actual scripts and AI fights here, because when you play any percent, these bosses they're on screen for about 5 seconds and then they're dead. Really nicely done fight. Sub 10 by my timing, not quite sub 10 by black screen timing. Okay, stage 4 is a really tough one for low percent because we get 2 bosses. And the bosses are ultimately the big difference here in low percent versus any percent, because there is no such thing as a boss in any percent except for maybe like Slogger or the Bat. Most of them just disappear from triple crosses, destroying them. Oh, having a bit of a skeleton party. Looks good though. You can pick up the meat here and get almost back to full health. Okay, so this is Kenshin probably doing a bit of a marathon save strat, farming the meat there just to ensure that he has absolute full health for Quexel. I can't really blame him. If you're not using whip cancels, you can really only get 2 whips per cycle of getting hit by the things that fall from the ceiling. This is really good luck, though. You want Quexel to move above you, but now he's slightly out of range. Okay, Kenshin. One more. Yeah, you can see the reason that Kenshin went back for that extra meat. And the reason why he's been picking up money bags for extra life. Ruh-roh. Do we go down again? Yeah, so that would have been an intentional death. Just to fill up some life, and a nice little drink break here. I think we might be back. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. You didn't really miss much. This room, you just kind of duck, and the guys go right underneath you. In fact, if there was a space to lose a bunch of frames, that's about the best spot that it could have happened. Alright, so we're coming up on the washing machine room. And you really got to watch out for this place. As long as you move the same way every time, you'll get the same spawns every time. And Kenshin's past the hard part. Now he should be able to get the exact same spawns every time. Alright, I know for a fact that Kenshin is not going to go for the zip here, so we're going to see a pretty standard 4-4. Wouldn't be able to anyway because he fell down. And that's a really smart play too. Just in case the bat kind of gets in your way, you don't want to risk having that whip upgrade spawn on top of you, so he whipped the candle to the left just to get rid of it. There's actually a strat which can be used where when you hit and spawn a whip upgrade, you know how it flashes when it despawns? If you despawn it by scrolling it off of the screen, it won't spawn again until you load a new room. And there's a couple spots where that can come in handy. We'll see if Kenshin uses that anywhere. Alright, so we've got the corn up fight, ton of rock. The big thing with this enemy is you have to dodge projectiles, himself, and this rain of stone coming from the ceiling. Now, luckily the rain of stone drops in a very similar fashion every time. So all of the stones are going to be the same distance apart from each other every time. Nice. Kenshin got the early orb too. The early orb is kind of a bit luck-based, but you still need to have a really nice jump as well. Stage 5. We could say that Kenshin's actually having a really nice run right now, but you don't want to say that until he's past Stage 5, because these harpies are the worst for low percent. You don't want to see a single one. Yep, we're looking good here. So now Kenshin has to decide where he wants to take all his boosts for the rest of the stage. So 2 here at the end. Hoping not to get another harpy spawn. So is he going to go above or below? Kenshin tried to jump over that guy. It can work out well, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, that worked really well. He had enough health and took all the boosts he could. Now, everything gets a little bit harder once we get into stage 6. There's no such thing as skeletons that die in one whip anymore, and everything's going to start taking 3, 4, 5, even 6 hits. Geez, if Kenshin picks up enough money, he's going to hit the 70,000 one up as well. Really tight section here. Got to make sure not to hit any of the small heart candles. A little bit of damage. Kenshin should be fine with that. There's a secret room coming up if he takes any more damage, and that'll put him right back to full health. I'm gonna assume Kenshin does a 2-cycle. Yeah. Kenshin is very conscious of the risk-reward, especially when it comes to marathon runs. So he can try and save like an extra 4 or 5 seconds on a chandelier cycle and end up losing about a minute because of it. So he's just going to take a little bit safer of a chandelier. We can hope for the 1 cycle, but... So we've got... Kenshin decides to kill this enemy. It's probably because of the extra hit he took on the earlier screen. Yeah. So it looks like Kenshin's opting to leave the ectoplasms alive. The game is only able to have 2 of them spawned on the screen at a time, so it prevents the 2 that should spawn right where he's standing. And he's going to try and time the bat boost here to help him get through these ectoplasms. Nice, perfect. Yeah, it does create a little bit of lag. And by a little bit, I mean a fair amount. But there's no real elegant way to kill those guys without losing a bunch of time in low percent. You don't have any crosses to rely on. Alright, so Kenshin's gonna pick up meat here and get himself ready for the skeleton hellway. A very dangerous section. Taking some boosts to get past the red skeletons. And then he's just going to whip everything else down. The red skeletons, you can jump over them, pretty much guaranteed when they first spawn, but afterwards you really can't count on anything. I think Kenshin's just going to go for the safety meat here. There is a trick you can do in that last room transition where you can die and transition at the same time and get back up to full health. It's not really usable in any other category because you lose all your upgrades. But for low percent, it's just a free health refill. But it's picky, it's health dependent, frame dependent. And if you die, you go right back to the beginning of the skeleton hallway and have to deal with another dozen skeletons. Well, there's some pretty gruesome theories about where the wall chicken comes from, and I don't know. I've watched a couple zip practice streams, and I think that's where the wall chicken comes from. So Kenshin is going to jump around, make sure that the enemy pauses right on top of him, and then they're just free to whip down. Nice clean fight. It's a little gruesome. So now we're going into stage 7. And yeah, these spear knights, they take 6 whips to kill in low percent. So you really want to hope for the good luck, like what Kenshin just had. Because if that guy ends up in your way, you're either going to take the damage boost to go through him, and it normally takes 2 damage boosts, or you got to whip him 6 times. Luck is just amplified so much in low percent, because if you have to kill an enemy, that's going to be like 3 or 4 extra whips. Oh yeah, stage 8's coming, but we got to get through stage 7. I wonder if Kenshin's going to go for the book jump. I think Kenshin should go for the book jump, but we'll see if he feels safe enough to do it. Yeah, by going a little bit too far left there, he spawned these books in a slightly odd pattern. He's not going to do it. He was getting close to setting up for it, but yeah, you've got about a 4 or 5 frame window to get the book jump, and you die. It's a little bit more punishing in any percent where you lose your sub-weapon, but in low percent it's still a fairly large time loss. Nice. It's actually a very precise jump to get through that wall of bats without getting hit in low percent. Very nice. Kenshin did a jump whip to spawn the whip upgrade, so the small heart candle in front of the meat wall wouldn't drop anything on top of him. Okay, just a few more obstacles and we're going to be at Grakul. Now this boss is terrifying in low percent. Yep, so Kenshin has 13 health in a dream. So in this first phase, he's really got 2 different types of attacks. Oof, Kenshin taking those 3 damage hits. Yeah, he's got the ground pound, and he's got the axe throw. Kenshin, that's a lot of damage. The ground pound hits you for 3, the fireballs hit you for 1, but in the second phase, he can only hit you with the sword, and that hits you for 2. Kenshin, oh god. Okay, he did it. I was very worried. Now with the ground pound, he tends to do it when Simon's close to him, so you can kind of abuse his AI a little bit. Just surviving the fight is the important thing. Now we're getting into stage spikes everywhere, pits everywhere, goo everywhere. I assume that Kenshin's going to take the minimum damage route here. Yeah. He's going to try and save as much health as he can so that he can perhaps skip the big meat coming up. Oh! Nice top rope. Okay. Kind of hard to tell where he was based on based on the boost it took. But that was awesome. Okay, so taking out some of those bone serpents. One of them doesn't even get a chance to spawn. Looks like Kenshin is going to pick up the meat after all. It's kind of the dream in this stage, is to be able to skip that meat, because it takes quite a bit to actually open it up. And so Kenshin is probably going to go for a off-the-stair boost. Can be a little bit dangerous with that candle there. Yeah, and it doesn't take too much time to pick up the vulnerability potion. It saves a couple frames to skip it, but the enemies there are actually super dangerous because they're mixed in with such weirdly placed small heart candles, which will drop you whip upgrades, which we don't want. Okay, this bag still looks a little scary. Okay. Good. So this boss isn't too much of a problem in low percent. Place yourself right in front of him. Try and whip up and take out these vials before they hit the ground. And the higher up you kill them, the less likely that Frankenstein's going to take a step forward. The closer to the ground they get, the more likely that he's going to take a step forward into you. Yeah, really nice 8 overall from Kenshin. He has his game plan and he executed it pretty much perfectly. So stage 9 has one of the 2 bosses in the game, which is just very rough to deal with. Medusa and the Bat are, in my opinion, the 2 worst bosses in this game as far as RNG is concerned. Like the Mummy is its own type of thing, but Medusa and the Bat, you can still you still should be able to execute a good fight no matter what you get, and the Bat can just give you some really bad breaks. Okay, that's nice. Being able to kill that skeleton before he jumps saves a whole bunch of time. Kenshin's picking up the rosary and the meat. Just saved himself 6 whips with that rosary pickup. I think with optimal movement it might actually be faster than whipping down the enemies, but it's hard to say. Ugh. Yeah, Kenshin decided to go for I'm gonna go to the safe little corner there where I can't get knocked into the pit strat. And it really works. Sometimes that section will just destroy you. Quick little boost through the bone serpent. And will he get the jump down onto the stairs? No. Yeah, Kenshin's gonna hit the 70,000 one up here. Probably next stage, maybe in B. Okay, this vertical section is a little bit scary because as soon as the ground scrolls off screen, like 1 pixel off screen, it no longer exists. That floor that you once knew will let you fall. Nice. Yeah, Kenshin's really happy with that. That was a very clean section. Yeah, that whip skeleton on the top, you could think that you could jump over him or boost past him, something like that. But he has the most aggressive RNG that you'll see. Yeah, so this is the Bat fight. Looks like we're getting a 30 FPS stream, so not too many flashes going on. You gotta hit him 33 times to break him apart. Kenshin timed it perfectly. And then he's just gotta take care of the 3 little bats that it breaks up into. It's actually a lot harder than you'd think in low percent. Shed off gold. There we go. You would hope that you'd be able to kill the last bats a little bit quicker, but overall, that fight went really, really well. I kind of half wonder where Kenshin is versus his PB, because there hasn't really been too many big mistakes. No unintentional deaths or anything like that. Okay, stage A has some more of that the floor disappears as soon as it's gone syndrome that we saw on the last screen, or the last stage. But it's also mixed with a whole bunch of really random skellies and Medusa heads. And lag. And some of the best music in the series. Yeah, stage A has it all. Fear for your life. Awesome banging tunes. And really frisky skeletons. Like sometimes when they jump into walls like that, it can get some really funky zips going on. Alright, so Kenshin has to watch his health a little bit here. Gonna have to kill these guys for sure. Yeah, 5 for him and 9 for this guy. And the ring gets in the way too. Alright, nice and clean, looking good. I think Kenshin's going to pick up the rosary. Yeah. Solid. Giving us the double thumbs up, showing us that that was an intentional death. Kenshin's been hoarding the money, so he's got all the lives. And this run's actually just been going quite well. Middle spawn's not really what you want to see, but it's better than the left side spawn because you only really get hit once down onto the platform and then you can just kind of whip them down. Yeah, this is the worst place that he can spawn. The only way to hit him with a full whip damage is to do these awkward jump down diagonal whips. And I know Kenshin has a bit of a difficulty with them because he's playing on keyboard. This is the best spawn. Yeah. When he spawns there, you have to quickly ascertain whether he's doing fireballs or bandages. And if he's doing bandages, you have to move in close, otherwise he'll get hit. And another bad spawn. Hopefully it's bandages? Yeah. So yeah, he only really has 2 tricks. It's fireballs and bandages, and then he just chooses random places to spawn. But Kenshin should be able to finish this up here. He doesn't get boosted backwards. He's a little bit forward on him. That's honestly a very clean fight. Even with the 2 bad spawns, he made it through with, is that 5 cycles? Yeah, I think it was 5 cycles. The very best fight you can get is three cycles with whip cancels. So anywhere around the 4, 5, or 6 cycle fight is very, very nice. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenshin's in the green versus PB right now. And nothing to see here on Bat Bridge. You can do some more of those funky, like, jumping backward whips. But you risk hitting the small heart candles and spawning a whip upgrade. This is one of my favorite screens in low percent. It's very pure movement. You're not trying to pick up any candles for your hearts or anything like that. You're just trying to get through as quick as you can, as clean as you can. And apart from the one section with the really bad stairs, the rest of it's not so bad. Okay, Kenshin making quick work of the first section. Now onto the rising platforms. Okay, preserving his health. Yeah, very, very clean B2. Now he's got to make his way to Slugra. The Destroyer of Dreams, as Kenshintrek has coined. And this fight in low percent is actually a little bit tamer than you would expect, but you need to be very, very practiced in how to deal with this guy. When you hit him, he'll always fly up into the ceiling and then come down right on top of you. So you can use that to your advantage and try and manipulate where he spawns so that you're more easily able to dodge his attacks. Yep, this should be the break. Looks good. Yeah, so in this phase, now that his weapon's gone, he's going to choose to stand there or to dash at you. And if he dashes right away, sometimes it can be difficult. That was a really nice dodge by Kenshin. But as long as you manipulate his spawns properly, you should be able to avoid his attacks. Unless he gives you a triple dash, and then sometimes you're just screwed. There's nothing you can do. Kenshin got stuck there on the ground just a little bit. And mistakes amplify in low percent, like I said before, so now Slugger wasn't spawning exactly where Kenshin wanted, and it can get a little sketchy pretty quickly. Alright, this boss is just a little bit more annoying. He's not quite as difficult as the rest of these three bosses here. But when he's flying that high, oftentimes it's very difficult to whip him with your short leather whip. Okay. Him dying on the side of the screen isn't too ideal for low percent either, but Kenshin's handling this really well. Yeah, the patterns that you get in the second phase are kind of dependent on where you kill Gaibon in the first phase. So there are preferable ones. You kind of want them to be 2/3 across the screen on either side for low percent. But center and full left or right, it's not so bad either. So this guy is really tough with low percent. You can try and take out all the little shrimps that he throws out with really well-timed whips, but it's super difficult. You could practice it 200 times and still mess it up. I'm not salty. Ooh, that was a full-on death hug. Kenshin's got to be pretty careful here. There we go. You got good luck. Kenshin, you got it. Yeah, this fight actually has the thing that hits you for the most damage in the entire game. When Death throws his giant scythe, that'll hit you for 5. There's nothing else in the game that hits you for that much. Okay, perfect. Kenshin's going to fill up to full health and make his way over to Dracula. I think Kenshin's PB is like a 43 something, so if this fight goes well, are we going to see a PB? I'm going to look up the answer, but I'm not going to say it till the end of the run. Okay, so ideally you want to get 4 hits per cycle here. It looks like Kenshin's on pretty good track. And then, yeah, 4 hits per cycle should pretty much always force the meat spawn. There it is. Kenshin's just making sure that he gets the meat. Oh, man. Sometimes the fires just spawn right on top of you every time. And it hurts too. It hits you for 3. Yeah. And since you don't have the crosses or anything, ideally you want to hang out in the center of the screen in between each phase, or like each cycle in the phase, so that you can most likely get to a place where you can hit Dracula. Come on, Kenshin, don't be too meat greedy. You got this. Okay, pushing him into the final phase. Let's see what luck he gets. Alright, really nice luck with these lightning. It's really touch and go. With the health that he has here, that he shouldn't have to worry too much. And yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, so I checked out Kenshin's PB. It was a low 42s. So Kenshin's only like 30-40 seconds off PB. He's got to be very happy with that run. I think we might be joined by Kenshintrek here. Kenshin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, everybody.
Very nice run, friend. Very nice run.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I am really satisfied with this run. I did not have any major mistakes. I had very good luck sometimes, and yeah, this was a really solid run. I am really satisfied with it.
Yeah, I really like how you pick up all the money bags along the way to make sure that you get some extra lives.
Yes, as I have told you, that is pretty much my idea of this, of routing this run. That way I can have 2 extra lives, and as you can see, they actually helped me because I died several times, but all of those were planned. So yeah, I have lives to spare.
Yeah, that's only about, what, 30-40 seconds off of your PB?
Yeah, this is actually really good. Yeah, this is 39 seconds away from my PB. I don't know where I lost them, but I assume that my PB has a really good RNG. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were taking a few safeties along the way, but I didn't really see any major mistakes at all. A couple little boosts and stuff like that, but yeah, you kept it nice and clean. It was really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. By the way, I really would like to apologize. I would like to offer some sort of apologize because of my internet connections. I had a couple of disconnections. My OBS has been acting really weird lately, and it is kind of a problem. I am sorry for any inconvenience I could have caused.
Yeah, I don't think it's your fault, Kenshin, really.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Everyone's
It's
kind of having internet issues right now. I think Skynet's finally waking up.
Yeah, it must be. My internet connection is actually good. I want to blame it on OBS. Yeah.
So I think you've got another run coming up next with us, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have another run right now, which is going to be Castlevania Dracula X. And if I am correct, you are also going to do some commentary over there, right?
No way. So it's gonna be more of the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a little less knowledgeable about Dracula X, but we're gonna ham it up. We're gonna have some fun with it.
I really want to see later the VOD of this coming run. I really want to hear what you have to say about this upcoming Dracula X. I am really looking forward to the VOD. Okay, so I am going to actually do a power cycle here. I am going to load the Dracula X run, and I am going to change my splits to Dracula X part ending. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good, Kenshin. So hang tight, everyone. We will be back shortly with some Castlevania Dracula X bad ending.